friends, I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I know it's been a minute. I've been missing you, and I am so thrilled that we're doing this reading today. And welcome. If this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer, and I deliver messages through the cards that help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. So in today's reading, I am revealing what people want from you. So this might be related to love. It could be friends, family members. It could be related to your career. There could be messages from all areas of your life that come forward. And you have 3 piles to select from. I encourage you to listen to what your intuition is telling you when you're selecting your pile. Pile number 1 features the green aventurine owl and the selenite stick. Pile number 2 has the labradorite wolf and the palo santo stick. And pile number 3 has the rose quartz cat and the white candle tied with twine. So I'm going to give you guys a second to meditate on the piles and select your reading, and I will see you in a moment. Hi, pile number 1, welcome. So in today's reading, I'm going to be revealing to you what people want from you. So to start off with, you selected the pile with the green aventurine owl. So this is your first message. Green aventurine connects with the heart chakras. So you likely have a big effect on the people that you're closest with, that you would consider having loving relationships with. It's too soon to tell if this is romantic, but it could very well be. But there's definitely a heart connection that you have with people, and they seek that out from you. The owl is a symbol of knowledge, and it's connected to the Greek goddess Athena, who is connected to knowledge and strategy. Next, you selected the selenite stick. So selenite is a crystal that's known for its healing properties. So it's known to help clear people's energetic fields. It's also known for grounding and stabilizing the energy of crystals, or clearing any kind of blockages from a crystal if it's absorbed too much energy. And because this is a clear crystal, it can be used on any chakra. So you have healing capabilities. I don't know if you work in healthcare in some way, or you work in possibly even mental health, but you have some sort of healing, grounding influence on people. So we'll see what else comes forward. So let's get into your cards. And if this is the first time you're joining me, welcome. My name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer, and I am so thrilled that you guys are here with me. So to start off with, your first card is Strength, followed by Self, Partnership, 2112, it's up to you. Someone watching over you, good fortune, unforeseen forces, direction. Even if it seems like you're not making any meaningful progress, things are moving in the right direction. If you see this number, it's a sign that everything will work out in your favor and your dreams will come true. 10 of Wands. Lust, not love. Passion isn't the same as lasting love. Don't get sucked in by just good sex. And stuck in the past. Let go of your ex completely so you can truly welcome new love into your life. And happiness. Okay, we'll pull a few more cards in a minute, but so far what's coming forward is you are sought out for your insight. There is a lot of experience that comes through you, regardless of age. You might just be an old soul, so you just are like wise beyond your years, or you might have lived through a lot of extreme highs and lows, and people seek out that information from you. There's this sense that people feel like you have the solutions or the answers to their happiness. And I think that sometimes that can put a lot of pressure on you. I think especially in relationships, because there are some key cards that are coming out here. The partnership card, of course, the lust not love, and the stuck in the past is talking about an ex. So I think that when you're in relationships, the people that you're dating, I think that you're going to solve all their problems, but solve them for them. And I think that that's likely caused you a lot of pain and created a lot of unnecessary work for you, because I think they have unrealistic expectations. They're coming in feeling like you're going to make them complete, that you are going to somehow like soothe all of their wounds. If they have trauma, that you will like know exactly how to communicate with them in a way that will like resolve it. And they're not taking any accountability on their own to redirect their actions or avoid any like pitfalls in the future. And I think that you've likely been mistreated by some of these people, because ultimately what they're doing is they're putting you on a pedestal. You're never going to be able to live up to the fantasy they have in their minds. And then they get mad at you and push you off the pedestal and say that you're the one that deceived them. But you were never really seen by these people. It was like they were like looking for truly an illusion. They had fantasized about who you were, and it's really based on the lust energy. Like obviously they're attracted to you, but it's beyond that. It's like the hormones that are going off when they first meet you is like causing them to start fantasizing and dreaming about happily ever after, and not recognizing that love is a choice, right? Like, yes, you can fall in love and you can have a deep, lasting love that will carry through to the end of your life, but that happens when you make a concerted effort to choose the partnership every single day, putting in the effort. And they didn't want to do that. Like, they really wanted you to do everything for them. So you might have been with partners where you had to sort of take care of everything. That might mean that you literally had to take care of like every responsibility of your like day-to-day lives, and like taking care of the house, walking dogs. I don't know if you have kids, taking care of kids. It could mean that you were responsible for like all the socializing. Like they didn't have any of their own friends or their own hobbies. Like you had to share everything that you were interested in with them. And there's a sense of like kind of like losing yourself. And you might, some of you, this might not relate to all of you, but some of you might be kind of feeling like relationships aren't really for me, because it just takes too much out of you. Like I'm looking at the Self card, the Raven here. There's this symbolism of death and rebirth, that you are at your best when you are completely on your own. And maybe you're more of an introverted person, or maybe you're neurodivergent like myself, and you need to have time to recharge. You need to like withdraw, recharge, and being with someone who is like constantly taking from you, especially energetically, like energy vampire type energy, is gonna completely throw you off balance, so that you can't achieve any of your own dreams. And, you know, that's going to really keep you stuck. But overall, regardless of whether these situations specifically relate to you, a lot of people are feeling like you are the answer to their prayers, that you're going to get them unstuck from the past. Even if it's not happening with, exes or even current love partners, you might feel like your siblings or your parents rely on you a lot. Even in a workplace, this might be the situation where like your boss is asking you for all of the answers and to put out every fire, but you never get a raise or any credit. Like you're just the engine in the background making everything work, but like, you're not getting any of the rewards is the sense that I get. So let's get some more cards about what people want from you. What do people want from pile number one? Okay, that's a lot. Okay, so you got cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control. So you might have friends that expect you to sort of protect them from themselves, is the sense I get. You're going to protect them from like all of the mistakes that they're making, or you're going to help them put the pieces of the puzzle together. I think in a healthy relationship with someone, that can be really beneficial because oftentimes we can sort of like look at the minutia or like the small details in a situation and not look at the bigger picture. And you might be excellent at putting the pieces of the puzzle together by looking at things like from a higher perspective or looking at all possible outcomes, which again is like a real strong neurodivergent trend or like trait is what I meant to say. So trends, that's interesting. I never consider those slip-ups to be an accident. So you might have strong psychic spiritual gifts where you're able to spot trends or patterns. So that might be literally you're a trendsetter and people are looking at you for fashion advice, or exactly like what the next hot band is going to be, or where like anything that's going to become popular. You just kind of like have your pulse on that. But you might also have the ability to like sort of see behaviors before they become a big problem. Like you're spotting the red flags. If you're with people that can handle that kind of information because they're like so hopeful that it crushes them and hurts them, that's going to be hard for you because there's this sense of that your honesty is partially why you're here. Regardless of how you're delivering the message, you're supposed to be revealing these things. You're supposed to be sharing the truth. It's important to like, if that is your gift and you feel like that's resonating with you, because there's a lot of people that watch this, so just take the messages that resonate for you and just leave the rest. But if that is like speaking to you and you feel like that is something that you've noticed about yourself, the best thing you can do for yourself is to just practice your delivery. Like that, oftentimes that kind of gift comes with like this real strong honesty that not everyone can take. Pin, new job or career. Either you're able to help around like solve problems or basically like just create movement in your workplace, or you're possibly also really able to give people clear guidance in their work. So that might be related to even your own your own industry or your own career. Like you could be a coach, or you are working in HR, you're doing something like that, and people are like wanting advice. There's just that is the big thing with you. Like people want advice. They seem to think that you have all of the answers. Just be careful that they're not putting too much pressure on you, because it can totally backfire. Misunderstanding. This is like highlighting what I was already talking about. Some people cannot take the heat. They want it. They ask the questions. At first, they want your guidance and advice, and then you hit the nail on the head and don't tell them what they want to hear, and they can't handle it, and maybe they put up boundaries. I definitely get the sense that with certain people that you've dated, they could not handle the heat. And the other thing that's coming forward with a gift where you're really able to tap into what's really going on, oh my God, that can be dangerous if you don't have emotion regulation skills on lock. And we're all working on that. It's hard. It's so hard. But if you don't have that on lockdown, you are so perceptive, you are going to be able to highlight exactly what is wrong. And it might be something that really hurts these people, because most of the time people are trying to hide their flaws from people. And I keep hearing Scorpio. So you want to, either you are a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, or you have strong Scorpio placements in your chart. You might also want to just look where Scorpio is right now. There might be a strong transit, something like that that's going on. Yeah, you might have Pluto in Scorpio, so you might be a millennial. But just be careful of that, because that will really, sort of put up a roadblock for you every time. Teardrops, great personal sorrow. Yeah, there are some things that you have revealed to people that have brought them to tears. I think that sometimes you're brought to tears alongside them, I think that it's like there's a real battle here where it's going to take some balancing to really get this energy right. But once you do, man, is it ever going to be powerful. Like I was saying before, that owl is connected to Athena, the warrior goddess. Strategy and really understanding how to move through battles so that you end up victorious, no matter who your opponent is. An older woman, dealing a relationship with an older woman. This is going to be something that you slowly work towards. That you are probably going to be sort of like a little bit reckless or like maybe raw with your insights, and slowly you're gonna really mature into this ability of yours and become an elder, like literally someone who is people look up to. And that might already be your experience right now. It's pretty powerful role to have, and deeply needed. And this does feel like strong feminine energy, and regardless of gender, feminine energy is connected to fluidity, creation, strong spiritual and psychic abilities, collaboration, being able to see the interconnectedness of all things. So let's get some, sort of final messages. I'd like to have your guides give you some insight or some guidance or advice. So let's see what comes out for you. What advice or guidance do you have for pile number 1 regarding what people want from them? Oh, you got 2 cards. Okay, let's see. So it says, redefining work. Work can be used to justify abusing ourselves and others, or work can be used to express our creativity and spirituality. The choice is ours. Yeah, personal boundaries are going to be very important to you. It's going to take some practice, really, like understanding exactly how to exert those boundaries. It's how you show up around people, choosing yourself, not backing down from your position, just because someone is like exerting force, and being really strategic about how you present your ideas, not being unemotional about it is going to be very beneficial. Like for some of you, this energy really comes up in your love life. For others, it's really coming forward in your work. Next, you got seeking advice. Yeah. When we ask for advice, we're usually not yet willing to accept the answers we already have within ourselves. So you might be so used to being the one that others ask for advice or for help that you haven't really learned how to ask other people for help or advice. Like one of the things that you're supposed to be doing is empowering people to find solutions for themselves. But sometimes finding a solution for ourselves means collaborating and working with others. It doesn't mean we solve every aspect of that problem solely by ourselves. So you sort of have to like lead by example. How do you show up in partnership with other people? How do you allow yourself to be vulnerable and talk about your feelings or your fears, talking about the past or your hopes for the future, and getting insight, taking that on? What do other people think about what you're proposing or what you're struggling with? And then knowing how to separate yourself and what you need from the guidance of others, because people can give you great insight. But remember, everyone is flawed and everyone is going to give you advice based on what they would do in your shoes or what they would like you to do because it might benefit them. So it's always important to really like look at what people are telling you and really, analyze it. Is this something that is gonna help or hurt me? And not just dismiss it outright and not just take it on right away. It's gonna be something that you're also sort of like struggling with at times in your life, but you're like leading the charge on this. Like you are gonna go first and then people will follow after you. And there is the possibility for some of you that you could apply this to some sort of business idea. Or like a new technology. Let's see if there's a bit more advice that your guides have for you about what people want from you. Okay. Soften and prosperity. Yeah, okay, so I've already mentioned this before. There is this sense that you have to sort of soften the message, like just sort of shave down the rough edges on that. Also, giving support that maybe is nonverbal, like a hug, putting your arm around a friend, just allowing them to share space with you, not necessarily asking anything of them, just being present, just being like a warm, loving energy, that just like that healing energy, like the selenite stick, and then leading by example. Show them how it's done. What does it look like to walk through life with grace, even in the face of obstacles? You either have already experienced a lot of highs and lows and a lot of like really hard, difficult situations, or you will over the course of your life as you grow into this, senior, elder person. And it is a real art to be able to like flow into those spaces, not be afraid of it, not let it distract you or shut you down. Looking at it from a place of curiosity, like what could I be learning from this? This is something I always tell all of my clients that come to work with me. The number one thing you can do when you are in a hard situation where you feel like you're blocked or you feel like you don't know what pathway to go down, you've got multiple options but you don't know what is the right option, is to remember that all of this is to help you learn something. So what pathway is going to help you to learn a particular lesson? If you don't know what the lesson is, you're not going to know what you're supposed to be learning. So start there. You are going to be delivering some of that information as well so that you can help people to understand that even the hardships can be blessings, even these difficulties. Like avoid those things. And in some cases, these people really want you to do the work for them. Some of you guys might be moms where you have a tendency to sort of like take things off of your children's shoulders. I encourage you to be a helpful witness to what's going on with them, because, or like siblings, this could relate to siblings or even love partners. Be a supportive, helpful witness. You don't want to take away that learning opportunity from them. If they are not in a situation where they're going to be harmed in a irreversible way, you have to sort of let them stumble a little bit. You can't put out all the fires for them, because it slows down their progress, and it also keeps the two of you out of alignment. You grow and they stay where they are. And then you wonder, oh, well, why don't we have anything in common? Why don't we have the same goals anymore? Well, you're at two different energies. You're two different vibrations. So that concludes your reading, my friend. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know whether this resonated for you. Was this message about love or family or career? I would love to know. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me, I do personal private readings, and you can check out all of my offerings, my prices, and my booking information on my website, odessamall.com. And if you have any suggestions for readings, if there's any questions that you've been hoping a reader would cover, put it in the comments section and I will add it to my upcoming schedule. So I am sending you so much love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 2, welcome. I am really excited to be doing this reading for you guys. So I am going to be revealing to you what people want from you. You selected the Labradorite wolf. This is your first message. So Labradorite is connected to the third eye. So it's automatically connected to intuition and psychic abilities. This can be a situation where you are revealing bits of information. There might be flashes of insight that you bring to people, or you might make them curious about things that they hadn't really been thinking about before. You might be a person who brings, different interests to the table. You have certain hobbies, or you've traveled. You can expose people to things that they wouldn't be able to see or perceive otherwise. The wolf is an interesting energy because there's a lot of duality. There's the perception of the lone wolf. There's that saying, really going alone and being able to hunt out the things that you want. But in reality, wolves are pack animals. They hunt together. They are extremely playful. They're very communal, and they're matriarchal as well. So it's interesting. Let's see what else comes forward to see how that sort of fits with the rest of the messages. You also selected Palo Santo, and Palo Santo can be used to cleanse and purify a space, removing low vibrational energies or even spirits. It has a wonderful scent to it. So you might have a strong scent, like you have pheromones that affect people. You might have a signature perfume, and people like really seek that out. They might ask you, like, what are you wearing? People just might be like magnetically drawn to you. Again, with the wolf, it gives me this sense of like people being like lusting after you, really being drawn to you in a real primal way. Okay, let's see what these cards are. So to start off with, you got the Four of Swords, followed by Cycle, 2323, Endless Cycles. Oh, wow. Charisma, communication, society, movement, journey, repetitive circumstances and patterns. There's some truth you're resistant to accept over and over again until you're tired and restrained beyond depression. It takes a decision to live life for yourself. Life is all about passion. When you make a change, the world around you follows. Okay, the 8 of Wands. La Llorona, caution. Incomplete. You want someone who completes you, but you need to be whole on your own. Followed by Parrot. Someone will gossip all of your secrets. Okay, so there's a sense that you have been drawn in by people that want you to continue going through these repetitive cycles with them. This could be a pattern that you've noticed. Maybe it's happening in a bunch of different areas of your life. There is this sense that there's 2 things that are coming forward. One, love. I mean, the bread is literally forming the shape of a heart. But there's also this sense of, for some of you, it will be family. La Llorona is a ghost story about a woman who unfortunately ends the life of her children because of scorned love. But there's also this sense of community and friends. So, I mean, honestly, this repeating cycle with people that bring this same kind of drama into your life could be happening in like all of those areas of your life, or one in particular over and over and over again. There's a sense that the people around you too don't necessarily respect you. It's like they want to, just have you sort of sit by and either support them in their perceptions of things so they feel validated, or they want you to distract them. Like they want you to either bring all of the excitement and the change, or they want you to be sort of like the focus of their energy. So they might gossip about you. You might have had some people in your life that were sort of like silently observing you. This could even be stalker energy. There's just this overwhelming sense that people come swiftly into your life. They want to just keep like luring you in. So you might have had lovers, for example, come in and out of your life repeatedly, and it's like this weird situationship where they are professing their love and then they disappear and ghost you, only to like come back around with some excuse. Or it's just the same dramas. Like you can see the potential there, but it's like you never move ahead with the relationship. There's just always something missing. Like, when are we going to get off this roller coaster and start our lives? Like, when are we going to start working together? Like, a lot of avoidant energy coming towards you. A lot of people that will just like completely go silent. Like, ghosting is definitely something that you've experienced quite a bit. Just before we even pull more cards, you definitely need to start cleansing your life. Now, step 1, I would say cleanse your energy field. I would suggest cleansing your home. If you live with other people, you might have to just sort of like work on cleansing the areas where you hang out the most, like your bedroom. But there's this sense of like you really needing to like clear your space, clear your energy field. One of the best ways to do that is to have a salt bath. And that's so easy. You just put a cup of salt, any kind of salt, in bath water and soak. You could light a candle. I highly recommend a white candle because it will help to purify the space. But of course, you have to set your intention. So you hold that candle or you stand by that candle and you make a silent prayer that you would like the energy of the candle to purify and absorb and transmutate any low vibrational energy into something high vibrational. Some of you who are interested in magical practices, you might want to do some cord cuttings, and that's going to help with the energy tie, the quantum entanglement. We are all interacting on an energetic level, and sometimes that energy can sort of get tied up and we end up being drawn back to people that aren't good for us. Like if you've ever had experiences where someone just pops into your head and it's like an intrusive thought. You don't want to think about them, but they just keep popping into your head over and over and over again. That's a strong sign that you probably have an energy cord and you want to get that taken care of. Either you do it yourself or you can work with an energy healer. That's work that I do if you wanted to work with me. But the other thing that's equally as important is the practical balance of keeping those people out of your life if you can, right? Don't respond to the 1 a.m. text message asking you what's up. Don't look at their socials. Don't ask other people about them. Don't respond to any of their attempts to reignite things, because I can promise you they're not changed. They're just repeating the same cycle over and over and over again because they haven't dealt with any of their own shadow energy. Like the moon is bringing a lot of illusions into your life, and you just keep going in this circle over and over and over again. But the sense is that you can break free of this, but it has to be an active choice on your part. So at face value, what people want from you is for you to just sort of stay stuck like them, repeat cycles over and over and over again. And this might be a situation where it's people that you've grown up around that you really trust and you thought they wanted the best for you, but they really don't. They're not excited for you when something good happens to you. You get a promotion and they're sort of causing a fight, or they are making you feel like you're selfish just because you want to celebrate and be happy that this great thing happened to you. And reality is they're just jealous. And if you can change your frequency, right? Your thoughts, words, and actions are contributing not only to the things that you're creating for tomorrow, but also your own energy. So start patting yourself on the back. Stop looking to these people to celebrate or to complete you or to fill a hole or to make something happen in your life or just to kill time. There's a sense of just killing time, parrot gossiping energy. And I know that this is going to be hard because I love shows Love Island as well. But those shows really drag our energy down. They really do, especially the recent casts. Oh my God, it's such a mess. And if you surround yourself with media that sort of mirrors this kind of toxic dynamic, it reinforces that that's what you want in your life. And it can also kind of distort your perceptions of things, right? You start to think, oh, well, everyone's having these kinds of problems. And they're not. I'm not saying it isn't a big problem it is, but not every single person is going around in circles like this. Some people do finally get off of the ride. So get off with them, because those people are going to make your life so much better. So let's see if your guides have any more guidance or insight for you that they would like you to know at this particular point in time about what people want from you. Okay. So these ones feel like they're upright. This is definitely in reverse. Okay, so the Eight of Swords is talking about feeling tied to outdated roles or ways of thinking, feeling like nothing will ever change, But the reality is that we're kind of doing it to ourselves. We might not have started the pattern. This might be something that was passed on to you. Like the biggest example I can give for us is gender roles. You know, like a man is this way, a woman is that way, and this is the way life has to be. And, you know, like there's so much pressure on us to perform in a certain way, right? And you do not have to do that. In fact, I highly recommend that you don't follow those rules, because those rules are not necessarily going to open up doorways for you. It's going to keep you tied to other people's problems, and it's going to burden you, where you're just going to be so overwhelmed, is the sense I get. Like, there feels like this group in particular, you have definitely encountered a lot of people that gaslight you. They're good at it. Master manipulators is what I'm getting. And you got to get wise to that. Like the best way to do that is just start really diving into psychology. If you have any interest, read books. There's so many great books out there that talk about this. The number one book that I would recommend is Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft. It will literally change your life. If you're dealing with a partner who, and it, you know, it's more applicable to a romantic relationship, that particular book, but if you're dealing with anyone who is manipulating and gaslighting you and trying you to dim your light and is not allowing you to grow and thrive, read that book. It'll explain every trick that they use, and it will really help make sense of what you've experienced in the past. 4 of Rods, 9 of Rods, 6 of Swords, and the Page of Swords. There's this overall sense that people want you to really like help them to move ahead. Like they kind of, some of you might have been coming from pile number 1. There's a sense of like, people want, if they don't want you to move away from them, they don't want you to move towards any kind of calm, any kind of like balance in your life. They want to keep keep this cycle going. And if they can't make it out, you're not going to make it out either. But there's like no action on their part. There's a sense of like, they want, if any change is going to happen, it's going to have to happen because you changed something. But they'll like guilt trip you. There's like strong avoidant energy, like a lot of like boundaries that they erect, maybe icing you out, silent treatment, or they'll say mean things and feel like there shouldn't be any repercussions to that. Like they can say something mean and be over it, and like it doesn't mean anything. And like that is really, really, really toxic. And for some of you, it's not going to be as extreme. The other thing is like some of the people around you are worried that you're going to succeed and move out of their lives and they're never going to see you again. And they have no faith in themselves, right? Like they really think that they're losers and that they can't ever achieve any of their dreams. And it's just like totally untrue, totally untrue. But, you know, we really do sort of morph and change based on the company that we keep. So spend time around people that inspire you. Like spend time around people that maybe you think are even better than you, right? Because eventually you're going to be able to reach their level as long as you're trying. And I do get the sense that you want to like move ahead and you want to achieve some of these things. Like definitely like if you feel like there's endless cycles of the same stuff going over and over and over in your life, you can choose to stop that, but you have to give up some of the relationships to do it. You have to start running with a different pack. Let's get some other advice from your guides, things that they want you to do to shift this energy. Okay, that is just the extra card in the deck. My mistake. Okay. So, first card you got is belongingness. Then it says, when I diminish another's belongingness in the universe, my belongingness becomes uncertain. Acceptance of all creation secures my place. Yeah, like, don't let them also influence you into being like a lower version of yourself, like a lower vibrational version of yourself, where you're judging people or you're comparing them against other people. Like, there's a sense of like, really force yourself to start looking at everyone with the energy of love. And it can be hard. It can really be hard because some people are easy to hate, honestly. Like, you have to look at them and think, okay, what is something that I really admire or I like about this person? Even if it's really small, like, I really love, you know, the socks that they were wearing the other day. Those were a cool color. Like, it can be something so minimal like that, and you build up from there. In some cases, you don't like anything about them or their policies or their personality or like their morals and values. Like, you don't like anything about them. And this goes for like companies as well, right? Governments. But is it inspiring you to want something different? That is something you can love. Their opposition to what makes you feel whole and complete is a catalyst for your growth. And you can be grateful for that. Like, you just gotta try and figure out a way to like look at the cup as half full with the goal of moving forward. Not so that you're content to stay in one place, just so you can motivate yourself to dream and hope that something can be better if you put in the effort. But if you start looking at the whole world around you as like this endless cycle of the same things that have been disappointing you and hurting you, you're gonna feel like there's no hope for tomorrow. Our strengths. Some of the most important strengths we bring to our work are our life experiences and the stages of life we have lived. Growing older has its advantages. Again, there's like this reference where it feels like some of you might be coming from pile number 1. Yeah, all of this headache, it's happening for a reason. I say this to my clients all the time. It's absolutely true. Every little thing in your life is connected to something else. It's all going to lead you to something better. If you're at a low point, remind yourself of that. Like, this horrible, crappy thing that I'm having to deal with that literally makes me want to just stay at home and cry is realigning me with something that's really going to be fulfilling. And that's why we have the gift of hindsight. It's not cliche, it is the truth. You're going to be able to look back at your life and you're going to be able to pinpoint exactly when things turned around. And oftentimes, those big transitions happen because there is a divorce, a breakup, there's been a job loss, there's somebody has passed away. Like, I mean, those are the big things that really set us on course. And I know this from personal experience. Like, the pandemic set me up for the life that I live now. And I've never been happier in my entire life. And that tower moment that I had during the pandemic was literally the lowest low that I've ever had. The other major shift in my life was when my dad passed away of cancer. Again, one of the lowest lows of my entire life. And it was one of the greatest things that ever happened for me because of the pathway that it led me down. I wouldn't be here with you right now if that hadn't happened. Doesn't mean I don't miss my dad. But I made sense of it. There is meaning. It wasn't just to create pain. Okay, and then final message from your guides. Okay. You got foundation and free yourself. isn't that it, right? That's what I've been saying. Like, create your own foundation. Like, know that there's miracles that will pop up out of nowhere. It will feel like magic, like mushrooms. There's a reason mushrooms are a symbol of magic. And it's because they grow from spores. You can't visually see them. The mushrooms can be growing right in front of you. And you will just all of a sudden walk out one day and there's this, little patch of mushrooms where the day before you saw nothing, right? It's magic is all around you. Focus on the intent of your life. What am I intending to do? What would it feel like to achieve those things? And then have faith that if you do your part, if there's an action or a step that you can take, you're going to do it, that the universe will match your energy and exceed it to make sure that you overcome those difficulties and get to a place where you're really living your truth. Because ultimately, it looks like for you, strength is a major thing, aligning with the right community and then being a guide to others to show them how to build strong communities alongside you. Right? Like this feels like a part of your divine mission is what your guides want me to say. So that concludes your reading, my friend. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love to know your thoughts. Give me some insight into how this played out in your life, or whether you've seen some of these symbols or synchronicities already happening around you. There is this sense that for many of you, this is already starting to shift and change. Like, this feels like the strongest, fastest energy so far out of the readings that I've done. And if any of you are interested in working with me one-on-one, I do personal readings and I do other services as well. Go to my website, odessamall.com, and you will be able to check out what services I offer, my pricing, my availability. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out. So I am sending you so much love. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching this. And I hope to see you again very soon. Take care, my friends. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome. I'm really excited to do this reading for you. So I am going to be revealing what people want from you. You selected the rose quartz cat. So this is going to start off the messages. So rose quartz is connected to the heart chakra. Cats are interesting animals. The mythology around them is connected to various cultures, but generally they're thought of as being messengers and able to move between the worlds. They're also linked with reincarnation, and they're aligned with magical practices. They're thought to be a familiar to people with mystical and magical abilities. So I'm going to put that aside. And then you also selected the candle. So a white candle can be used for any kind of magical working. And white is connected to purity and ascended masters. The rope bow could be connected to remembering. There's like that, I don't even know how to describe it. There's like the tradition, I guess, of tying a bow to remind yourself of something. And cords are also used in conjunction with candles for cord cutting, which is like energetically disconnecting your energy from another person, having sovereignty. So we'll see how that connects with the rest of the messages. So to begin with, you received the Knight of Pentacles. And for all of you who are new here, my name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer, and I am thrilled that you're joining me. Then you received Merge, followed by Strength. Ambivalent, you say you want a lover, but you're not all in. Take time to figure out what you want. 1001 or 1001, spiritual awakening, new beginning, personal development, prioritizing creativity and heading in the right direction. A new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. You're going through a spiritual awakening, which can feel like the dark night of the soul. You're on the path to enlightenment, and this too shall pass. Followed by the Three of Swords in reverse and broken wishbone. Wish will not be granted. Okay, so what people want from you is they want you to give them some sort of solution, some sort of answer. You are likely very spiritually minded people. I would not be surprised at all if you had strong Gemini placements, if you were psychic, if you were card readers, you are doing energy work. There's this strong sense of giving guidance and direction from the spirit realm to people in the physical world. That they want you to help heal their broken hearts. They want you to help them to find their pathway, to help them to make their wishes come true, to merge both sides of themselves. You know, there's this reference to the dark night of the soul. Dark night of the soul is terrible. I've gone through it numerous times. And basically you have to confront all the parts of yourself that maybe you're meeting for the first time, the parts of yourself that doesn't love you, that doesn't love other people, that feels like there isn't enough, that feels like you're too old or you're not smart enough or you missed that opportunity, or that you don't have the energy or the resources to do the things that you need to do. There's this sense that you are being called on by people in your life to really help them to solve all of their problems. But they're quite ambivalent to their actions. That's actually been a theme through all three readings, that like the people in my collective tend to be healers and mystics themselves. Like whether you're doing that professionally or not, like you might have never picked up a tarot deck in your entire life, but you work in a hospital, you know, like you're healing and guiding and helping people. But I think that like you have to show them how to plant the seeds, but they really need to be doing this on their own. You know, like there's this particular card is really coming strongly out towards me. The figure is walking ahead of me, right? If I'm looking at this person, they're ahead of me and I can only see their back. But if I continue to follow along behind them, I'm going to be on the right path. Like you're not supposed to be doing it for them. You're supposed to be the guide that helps them find their direction. So you might be asked to have a little side hustle where you have like a little coaching business, or maybe it's a big business, you know, like it could be your full-time work. This might be something that you do on the side just for the people that you love. This might not have anything to do with spirituality in a traditional sense. It might not have anything to do with mystical energies. Maybe you have a very rich religious life and you are helping to lead by example. There's a sense of like really helping people to like merge the two sides of themselves, the part that they let people see and the part that they don't. But it all has to start with you first. You're not going to be able to step into this role and really effectively do what they're asking you to do until you sort of like walk that path yourself. And it's this strong sense of like walking by faith, not by sight. And until that point, you might be trying to offer up advice to people and like they're not taking it. Like the right people aren't seeing you. I'm getting the sense of this Yeti, right? Like the Yeti is only seen in certain conditions, right? Like they're perfectly camouflaged, and them being a mythical creature also makes it difficult to see them. But there's a sense of like you might be underestimating your own power. Let's get some more cards to get some clearer insight into like what people want from you. What do people want from pile number 3? Okay. The Magician, King of Pentacles, King of Rods in reverse. They also want resources. It's like, okay, this will likely resonate for you if you are working in this spiritual field. You might have had a tendency to attract a lot of people to you that want you to tell them exactly how they're going to meet their soulmate, or how they're going to make $1 million, or how they're going to become famous. And you really want to be able to tell them how they on an individual level can manifest their own dreams and change their energy. And they just want practicals. Like they just want like, give me A, B, and C, like a step-by-step guide on how I can solve all of my problems. And you really can't give them that kind of insight because there's too much nuance. And this might be very frustrating for you. There might also be people in your life that literally want your resources so they can do things with it. Like, give me your money because I want to start a business. I want to go to this restaurant. I want to go and like fulfill all of my wishes and dreams. And in some cases, I think you might have been surrounded by people that literally wanted to take your magic from you. They wanted to like, there's a sense of them wanting to like try you on like a costume, like they're dressing like you. They are going to like switching their major so that they can go into the same field as you. Like there's like some real like copycat hater energy that's coming out here. Like they want to like become you. And it's really slowing you down engaging with these people. If this is resonating for you, you need to take a step back from those people because there's a sense of them drawing on you. Going back to this candle with the cord on it, you need to sever ties with them. If you're open to magical practices, do a cord cutting. Just sever that energy so that it's not influencing you and how you feel about yourself and what pathways you see available to you. If you can literally distance yourself where you're not like talking or hanging out with them, that is also really beneficial. But the number one thing I would recommend doing in that case is do not confront them. Don't have a big blow up about it. Just like become the Yeti. Just blend into the background. Like don't try and like go toe to toe with these people or try and express yourself or try and do what you think is fair. Like I'm going to tell you everything that I'm thinking and feeling and why I feel like we can't be friends or we can't, like spend so much time together, because it will blow up in your face. Because I think that the people that are trying to take something from you, they never had your best interest at heart in the first place. Like if it's someone that you're dating, obviously I would suggest that you are at least fair with them. Like I'm not suggesting that you should ghost them. But you don't need to have this like long drawn out conversation. It's just like key points. Like I don't think that we're on the same page any longer. I think we're going in different directions. It's been so wonderful spending time with you, but I think we would be better off as friends. Done. That's it. Like if they ask for more information or they start arguing with you, it doesn't matter. You just have to say, like, I respect where you're coming from, but I've made this decision and I feel like this is best for both of us. And I wish you well, and that's that. If they're an argumentative person, then I would do it over the phone. Don't do it in person so you can like get away. Okay, let's get some more cards on what your guides would suggest that you do in this situation. What advice do your guides have for you? What should you do? Wow, you got lots of cards. This is the most that's come out of this deck. Okay, so first you got giving up blame. Giving up blaming others for our unhappiness, our perceived failures in our lives may leave us silent for a while, but the silence is worth it. It leads to clamoring awareness. Yeah, like if there is anything that you're hanging on to from the past, like where you are sort of like angry at people for taking advantage of you, trying to release that and let that go, like just being grateful that you are through that lesson, that now you can look back and you can read the red flags really easily. So that's wonderful. Thank you for walking me through that lesson. Now I know, and I'm never going to fall for that again, right? And if people are coming to you with that kind of energy where they are just constantly focusing on the heartache and the things that didn't go right, remind them that having something go wrong is an opportunity for us to learn and grow. That isn't the right pathway, that isn't the right approach. Maybe we need to put more energy into it. Maybe we need to ease up on the energy. We need to be softer. Like everything is an opportunity for us to learn something. Even the bad stuff. That's why the bad stuff happens, because we live in a universe of duality. You can never really understand what the light is, oneness, the collective well-being, unconditional love, unless you know exactly what it feels like to be completely isolated and alone and having no one spend any time or energy on you and feeling unloved. That's the way it goes in this reality. And that isn't fun, but even that, like you wouldn't even know what fun was if you didn't know what boredom or sadness was. Next card is seeking advice. Interesting. I think this card came out in oh, you guys might be watching multiple readings. That's sort of been like coming forward. These cards came out in another reading. Okay, seeking advice. When we ask for advice, we're usually not yet willing to accept the answer we already have within ourselves. So make sure that the advice that you're giving to other people is advice that you would take yourself and that you've tested it. Like, as a reader myself, all of the things that I tell you guys about, all the insight, it's based on my lived experience. I'm not just like, making this stuff up and asking you to take risks that I haven't done myself, right? I really know from personal experience. So you got to walk first. Redefining work. Work can be used to justify abusing ourselves and others, or work can be used to express our creativity and spirituality. The choice is ours. Make sure that whatever you're doing for your work, however you make money, that it is fulfilling to you. I would encourage you, if you're in a situation where you feel like your day-to-day job is totally draining you and you don't believe in it and it doesn't honor who you are, that you try and start making a change. That isn't likely to be something you can do overnight. That might be a situation where you have to slowly start building up your enthusiasm and build up the courage to start applying for other jobs. Maybe it's a situation where you have to pick up a hobby, where you have something to look forward to. Having a side hustle. Like, not everyone has the time and the resources to be able to do that, but if that would be something that would like give you some of that balance and help you just to weather the storm, definitely do that. Don't throw all of your eggs into one basket. Like, don't like give all of you to something or someone that is giving nothing back to you. That's just constantly asking for more. And then the final messages from your guides. What do they want you to know? What do they want you to do about these people or this situation? Any other advice or guidance? Okay. First card, inner well. Yeah. Like, for you to be able to feel fulfilled, you have to fill your own cup first. And that's when you're really going to be able to help other people. Sometimes you have to take breaks. Sometimes you have to say no, especially if you are inclined to be a helper or a healer and you want to be able to give people guidance. Sometimes there isn't enough of us to go around. Sometimes we have to recharge. And I want you to know that the people that really need a particular message or they need support or guidance specifically from you will be brought back around. And this really goes for like work as well. Like, you can have personal boundaries. You can block off time on your schedule when you need to recharge. You can take breaks and come back to it when you are ready. And the opportunity will still be there for you. You might still have to put in effort. You might have to like sort of pivot your idea a little bit, but it's always important to make sure that you're recharged and look within for some of the answers. There's a sense that for some of you, you haven't fully stepped into like this spiritual teacher role. You're looking at other teachers, right? Like, I want you to know that I'm delivering messages to you, but I promise you, I don't know more than you. I am just further along on the path. That doesn't mean that I know more than you. I just know how to articulate things. And you'll get there too. And the more you meditate or you have a relationship with yourself, your own intuition and your guides, the more these messages will already be revealed to you. And then I'm just further clarification. And then inventory. Yeah, you need to take stock of what's going on in your life. What can you edit out of your life? What is not serving you? What is draining your energy? Who is draining your energy? Are there certain things that you feel like you are obligated to do, but you don't want to do them? If you don't want to do something, then you need to start making a pact with the universe that you're going to change it. I don't like my job. I want to feel fulfilled on a daily basis. I want to have more freedom. I want to be working with people that I admire or at least I respect. I want to be able to have more creativity on a daily basis. Whatever it is that you want. List out what you want and then ask the universe to reveal what the next step is. How do I get there? You just need to know that nothing happens overnight. Like, even when I pull cards where the reading is saying, oh, it's going to be like happening any day now, the universe's perception of fast is dramatically different than what our perception of fast is, right? So just keep that in mind. Try not hang on to like exactly when things are going to happen. That's another big message for you. But that concludes your reading, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated for you. I would love to know how this resonated for you. What is your spiritual path? What have you been doing to step onto this path? Is this something that you're doing professionally or you've wanted to do professionally? Are you a healer and guide in another way? I would love to know. And if any of you guys are interested in working with me, I do offer personal and private readings as well as a number of other services. You can check out what I do and what my costs are and what my availability is at my website, odessamall.com. And if you guys have any suggestions for readings, you have questions that you've wanted a reader to answer, put it in the comments section and I will be sure to add that into a reading in the future. So I am sending you so much love. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care.